my feelings out on paper, felt like that was safer. Then I tore it up and took a shot without a chaser. Still in the same spot, call me when the rain stops. Am I better off admitting that you're a stranger?
Hello there and welcome back to my second channel, Jack in the Books. Today I left the house, which is very exciting. Basically for my publishing job, so like the job I do outside of YouTube, I had to go to Cambridge today to speak to someone I work with, and I realised that if I got there 2 hours early, I would also be able to fit in time to go book shopping and I could film a little second channel video. So that is exactly what I did. These are the books that I bought. I'm really excited to tell you about them and very excited to read them. So I will get onto that later on in the video, but first I wanted to share a mini vlog of my day in Cambridge because I forgot how beautiful Cambridge is. Like, I have only been there once and it was for a university open day way back in 2016, but I ended up not actually applying to Cambridge, and that was because I wasn't too sure on the English course. I thought the city was beautiful and I liked the university setup, I liked the college system, but yeah, for me, the course is obviously the priority, and so that's why I chose not to actually apply there. When I went for the open day, basically, so I went to a state school, and Cambridge do this like outreach program where they help state schools access their university, and so we basically got funded to go and stay at Cambridge for the night, and I stayed in a college, I think it was called Churchill College, and it was like quite far out from the city centre. It wasn't really what I was looking for in a college. I really wanted to be like in the thick of it, and so I feel like that gave me a bit of a warped perception of what Cambridge was actually like, because I did not remember it being as beautiful as it was today. Like, this city is stunning, and I fell in love with it all over again. So I've vlogged all of the different bookstores that I went into, but obviously bookstores are quite quiet places, and so I couldn't really speak, and so I'm going to just voice over all of the clips that I filmed. So I'll show you around and let's go book shopping in Cambridge. So the first store that I went to was called Heffer's. I think this is like one of the most well-known bookstores in Cambridge, and they had such a good selection of lots of new releases. They had very good displays. I was very much enjoying myself in there, and I saw some beautiful editions of books like The Female Eunuch, Beloved by Toni Morrison. Look at that cover. But this is the book that I came in for, Hamnet, and I just realised I picked the only one with a sticker on it, and I'm actually I'm kind of annoyed at myself now. Anyways, my next stop was Oxfam Bookstore. I feel like they always have such a good selection of classic literature and also some modern stuff. This cover was beautiful. I don't know what the book was about, but that is stunning. They also had some classics like The Alchemist, and Disgrace is a modern classic and it's so great. I studied it for my degree. Then I visited the Cambridge University Press bookshop, and the way that the sunlight was flooding into this shop through the glass, it was just an immaculate vibe. They basically have a lot of kind of academic books. Obviously that's what Cambridge University Press specialise in. This was giving me war flashbacks to my degree and all the theory books that we had to read, but this staircase was spectacular. I then headed to Cambridge Market Square, where I saw that there were two different booksellers, and the first one I went to had a bit of a limited selection, but I noticed they had a copy of Hamnet, and let me just tell you, I felt like an absolute tit because I had just paid full price for that exact same book, and there it was sitting on that table. So I asked the lady, like, oh, how much are you selling this for? Because it must be secondhand. And she was just as confused as I was that it was on the table. She was like, I don't think that's for sale. She thought that someone had maybe left it there by accident. I mean, I don't know. Either way, she wasn't selling it, so I still have my copy that I bought in the bookstore. I then headed across the square to Bookish Cambridge, which had the best selection, hands down, of books. They had a lot of modern stuff, they had a lot of classics, and for such good value. It was an absolute bargain. They were £2.50 each, or 3 for £6, which is such good value for money. And the lady who works behind the store was so lovely. We had such a good chat. You know me, I will chat to anyone, and we had a really good chat about books, and she was asking me lots of questions about my job in publishing, and I was asking her lots of questions about book selling, and I just think people who sell books are the nicest. So yeah, if you do go, make sure you have a chat as well. Aesthetically, this bookshop is immaculate. It is called The Haunted Bookshop, and it's really tiny, but they have a really nice little selection of classics, and the lady in there was really nice as well. And then we have my final stop, which was Amnesty Bookshop, or Books for Amnesty, and they had another really good selection of books, and all for really good prices as well. Including this one, Dizzy Worms, which I didn't pick up, but I wish I had. But these are the books that I did pick up, so let me tell you about them. Firstly, we have this one. You saw this before, so that was a bit of a spoiler. But this is Hamnet. On a summer's day in 1596, a young girl in Stratford-upon-Avon takes to her bed with a sudden fever. Her twin brother Hamnet searches everywhere for help. Why is nobody at home? The father is working in London. Neither parent knows that Hamnet will not survive the week. And this is basically based on William Shakespeare and his kids. And I listened to someone talking about how much they love this book on a podcast, and I've wanted it in my hand fans ever since, so I'm very happy that I finally have it. So the other book I picked up in Heifers was this one. This is Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reid. When Amira is apprehended at a supermarket for kidnapping the white child she's actually babysitting, her employer Alex resolves to make things right. So begins a crash course about everything they know about themselves, each other, and the messy dynamics of privilege. Again, I've seen glowing reviews for this, and I'm really intrigued to read a book all about privilege. Okay, then these three books are books that I bought in the 3 for £6 offer at Bookish Cambridge. The first one is Essays in Love by Alain de Botton, because I read The Course of Love and hated it. And I know that some people are massive fans of this author, and so I wanted to give him another go, and I picked up this book as well. He's kind of a philosopher, and and so the way that he talks about topics like love is very well, I want to say philosophical, but that sounds like, I feel like there should be a better word that I could use here. Come on, English degree, serve me. There's nothing there. Anyways, that's why I bought this book. I wanted to give this author another go. I also bought this book. This is One of the Boys. A father and his boys have won the war, the father's term for his bitter divorce and custody battle. Settling in the bright heat and stark landscape of suburban Albuquerque, the brothers join new schools while their father works from their cramped apartment, smoking cheap cigars to hide a worse habit. Soon his missteps become sinister, and the boys find themselves watching the man they love transform into someone they no longer recognize. Doesn't that sound fascinating? I think it'll be really interesting to think about, like, father-son relationships. So there's that, and then Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. I've heard so much about this, but I genuinely have no clue what it's about. She leads a simple life, she wears the same clothes to work every day, eats the same meal deal for lunch every day, you and me both, and buys the same 2 bottles of vodka to drink every weekend. I don't know. She's happy. Nothing is missing from her carefully timetabled existence, except sometimes everything. Damn, okay, cool, that sounds good. But yeah, I feel like this is a book that everyone has read and I haven't, so that's why I bought it. Then the last purchases I made were in Amnesty Bookshop, so I bought this Kazuo Ishiguro. This is Nocturnes. I think I've read most of Ishiguro's other novels now, so I wanted to get around to this one. He explores the ideas of love, music, and the passing of time from the piazzas of Italy to the hush-hush floor of an exclusive Hollywood hotel. The characters range from young dreamers to cafe musicians to faded stars, all of them at some moment of reckoning. Beautiful. And then the last book I bought was this one. This is a book of Indian poetry, and everything is in English until, like, the introduction, the contents page, everything. And then, sorry my camera died, but what I was saying was that the poetry inside here is written in Hindi, which is great, but not for me because I can't read that. And I honestly feel like an absolute twat because I don't know how I managed that. I read the introduction, which is in English. I think that's quite misleading, to be fair. I read the introduction in English and thought, this poetry sounds great, I'm gonna read this on the train home. And then I opened it up on the train home and realized that it was very much not in English. So yeah, whoops. Unfortunately, this is not in my native tongue, so I think I'm going to find a charity shop to go and donate this to in my local area. But I'm not mad because the money went to Amnesty International anyway, so yeah, it doesn't matter. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this Cambridge bookstore vlog and haul. Don't forget you can subscribe to this second channel and my main channel as well if you want, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye!